welcome everyone to Friday Night SmackDown here in Aberdeen, Scotland. We have some great action here for you tonight, including All Ego Ethan Page versus Carmelo Hayes. And we kick the night off with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. So let's get into SmackDown. As Cody is fresh off the back of beating Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble to retain his undisputed championship. As he will address the crowd here in Aberdeen, Scotland. As the Elimination Chamber approaches, Gunther winning the Royal Rumble. As we saw CM Punk speak on Raw, he clubbed Gunther in the back of the head with his title. So we'll see what Cody Rhodes here has to say tonight regarding that win for Gunther and regarding the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. As Cody has that microphone in his hand. Into the ring. What does the American Nightmare have to say? Saying Sami and the Rumble are behind him, and they will tread carefully like Punk, but what he won't do is hold back against Gunther. But Damian Priest interrupting Cody Rhodes. Damian Priest challenging Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber. Wow, what? Looks like we've got a match for the Chamber here. Cody versus Priest. Well, that's interesting. As now we see Solo Sikoa talking to JC Mateo backstage, saying, "I give you the help you need, but you lose." He's telling him to go and attack Rey Fenix, who has a match here against Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee's making his entrance right now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico, weighing in at 165 pounds,
I mean, is he going to follow through with the demand by Solo? I mean, for the sake of Rey Fenix, would hope not. But then again, you can't promise anything with Mateo and Solo Sikoa. They already have subjected him to multiple steel chair attacks and beatings. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if they did. If Mateo did follow through. That was the first battle of the night. Dragon Lee will take on Rey Fenix. It's a great matchup. Two great high flyers. And oh! JC Mateo following through and into the steel steps. And thrown into the ring now is Rey Fenix by JC Mateo. And he does follow through with the demand of Solo Sikoa. As you see Rey Fenix here struggling to catch his balance and breath. Now the match kicking off. He doesn't have much of a choice. And now with an arm drag there, managing to take out Dragon Lee. Put him up. Putting A couple hits now, and a poison Rana by Ray Phoenix. Spikes Dragon Lee there. Gets caught though, kick to the hamstring by Lee. Able to send him into the corner. Running at him, kick. Trips him up, over, and there's the kick. Dragon Lee to the outside. Ray Phoenix on his feet. What's Dragon Lee thinking? Oh my! Swung himself over the ropes, caught Ray Phoenix with like a scissor headlock there, and then a Hurricane Rana. But Ray Phoenix now got the upper hand again. Went for the super kick. Dragon Lee weaved out the way. Now got him. Powerbomb by Dragon Lee. And a roll through, like Frankensteiner there, into the cover, kick out by Dragon Lee. Now Ray Phoenix got him up. And threw him up into a cutter there. Now onto the outside. Roll through, splash by Ray Phoenix. Dragon Lee going to make his way to the outside. Giving chase is Ray Phoenix. Now into the ring, Dragon Lee. Got him here. And down he goes, able to plant Ray Phoenix. Hooks the leg now. Going to try and get the win off of that. Phoenix manages to kick out. Forces him onto the ropes now. Dragon Lee sends him to the outside. Off the ropes. In a bad way, Ray Phoenix dodges Dragon Lee, who crashes back first onto the concrete on the outside. Ray Phoenix now over to the top now, and Ray Phoenix from the top jumps down, and a clothesline, both men down now. Oh my goodness, what a match we're being given so far. Ray Phoenix now taunting to the crowd, and now follows up with a drop kick. Oh, but Dragon Lee, out of nowhere, caught Ray Phoenix there with a Hurricane Rana, took him down. Now going to throw him across ringside. Now last week, these two men took on JC Mateo and Tama Tonga with Tongaloa at ringside in a 2-on-2 tag team match, in which Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix took the win. After the previous week, Ray Phoenix had took on JC Mateo one-on-one, lost the match. Mateo was about to subject him to a steel chair attack when he swung the chair, and Dragon Lee came in, took it right out of his hands and forced Mateo to retreat. So he saved Ray Phoenix, and after the show off the air, they went to the general manager of SmackDown in Nick Aldis, asked the match to be made official, to which Aldis granted the wish. And then the match happened last week, in which these two men took the win. And now tonight they went one-on-one, and you saw JC Mateo ordered by Solo Sikoa to attack Ray Phoenix in his entrance, which he did. About that, it doesn't seem to have affected Ray Phoenix all that much, as he's put on a good showing so far, as he tosses Dragon Lee back into the ring now. Gonna get back in, going into the cover now is Phoenix. Referee count of 2, Dragon Lee gets the shoulder up. A roll through splash once more by Phoenix. Now what's he thinking? On the top rope. Dragon Lee, center of the ring, and a diving cross body for a splash by Ray Phoenix. Went for the chop, dodge was Dragon Lee, dodges the super kick, but now Ray Phoenix catches him, sets him against the ropes, Irish whip, ducks under there, Hurricane Rana takes out Dragon Lee. The athleticism of these two men is putting on a great show for us. As now, Rey Fénix, the knee to the skull as he plants him down there. Kind of like a side slam into the cover, but Dragon Lee once more kicks it too. Rey Fénix, the Irish whip turned around by Dragon Lee. Sending him around. Dragon Lee sends him chest first into the buckle. Now a German suplex to follow. Brings him back onto his feet, forces him into the corner. Waiting for the stomp, catches an elbow by Rey Fénix. But gets a kick there. He's down on both knees with the roll up. Going to try and catch Rey Fénix off guard. He manages to kick out. And now Dragon Lee with the two clotheslines. Catches the leg. Leg sweep. Takes down Fénix. Rey Fénix is in a bad way here. Dragon Lee, can he get the win? And again Rey Fénix able to kick out. There's a bit of frustration in Dragon Lee there at the failure. And now catches him with a knee. Fénix may be out. Rey Fénix may be out cold. As Dragon Lee now went to finish him off. Missed entirely. Now sent into the corner. Rey Fénix. Jump with the kick. Sets him on the top rope. Maybe a muscle buster? What's he thinking? Oh! Rey Fénix. Is he going to win? Yes, he does. Rey Fénix wins.
Here is your winner, Rey Fénix.
What a bout these two men gave us here tonight. And what a win that is for Rey Fénix despite the circumstances that he had before the match. Congratulations to him for beating Dragon Lee. My word. See Piper Niven and Tiffany Stratton backstage here. Piper thanking Tiffany for helping her at the Rumble. Tiffany saying it looks like Chelsea has a new friend and they should watch their backs. Well, those two seem to be forming a temporary alliance while they try and deal with Chelsea Green and seemingly a new accomplice in Alba Fire. Well, as we move on from that, we now have an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. It's Julia versus Charlotte Flair.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan, Julia.
Now, Julia has not been that active lately, but she's returning tonight with a chance to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match in 4 weeks' time. But she does have to take on the Queen Charlotte Flair, multi-time world champion here in the WWE. She did lose at SummerSlam to Liv Morgan, previously lost the title to a cash-in. So this is a match that means a lot to the momentum of Charlotte Flair. And you could probably say the same for Julia too. As here comes the Queen, the daughter of Hall of Famer, 16-time WWE champion Ric Flair.
From the Queen City, Charlotte Flair.
as the Queen will now make her way down to the ring. A lot lies on her shoulders in this very moment, as like I said, she will be fighting for that first spot in the women's chamber match. The other 5 women in that match will obviously still have to be determined. And starting on Raw after this SmackDown, there will be a men and women's qualifying match every single show to get participants qualified in time for the show in 4 weeks. And after the Chamber, there will be 6 weeks between the Chamber and WrestleMania, the show of shows. There's a lot to look forward to. Julia, Charlotte Flair, second match of the night, and it's underway. These 2 women throwing hands at one another. Flair going about, Julia stumbling on her feet, and Flair with the pull back into the boot. And now handstand and falls down with the knees to the gut of Julia. I mean, the experience of Charlotte Flair, let alone the accomplishments, are definitely something that Julia should fear. But then again, Flair does not know Julia all that well. So Julia could definitely catch Charlotte out and have Charlotte's drought continue up until WrestleMania time. And now Flair with an Irish whip off the ropes. Julia managing to get down off the shoulders. Waist lock. Russian leg sweep. And now going to pound Charlotte in the face with the right fist. Going to go into the cover off of that, but Flair kicks before the count can even start. Catches Julia with an elbow. Now these 2 going to lock up again. Flair got her in a side headlock now, which Julia turns it around, wrenching at the arm now. Some good old fashioned chain wrestling here between the 2 women, as Flair going to turn that arm holder around now onto Julia. Snapmare takedown. Choking Julia out. Now transitioning back to the arm is Flair. Impressive manoeuvres here by Charlotte. Now got Julia up. Arm drag takes her down. Now sends her off the rope. Gets caught though. Maybe took too long with the chain wrestling. Ducks under as Julia, big boot. Charlotte crashes to the mat. Cover by Julia now. But Charlotte still doesn't let the count begin. Not even after that big boot. Julia forced to continue the momentum. Planting Charlotte down on the mat. And now, going to try and follow up with the knee, but Flair caught it. Turned back around again by Julia. Lifts her up. Down again, Flair going to roll out of the ring. And now this fight's taken to the outside. Oh, and Charlotte got in the face and then went face first into the announce table, able to now send Julia across ringside to the barricades. Just saw Julia clutching at the knee there, but I wonder, is that like an injury or is that momentary? Hopefully momentary. But you did just catch her holding at the knee there. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but Flair now going to toss her back into the ring. Now trying to get the crowd rallied behind her. Giving chase here. I'm going to slow down. Julia ducks under. It's a brilliant manoeuvre as well. Now got Flair with a DDT. As Charlotte going to put an end to that quickly with a double-legged takedown. As Julia now in the corner. Flair got caught, planted again with a DDT. Now both women back in the ring. Flair went for something again, but Julia just not possible to catch. Up and down, Flair landing like on the back of her neck. Julia into the cover now. Count at 2 and Charlotte Flair gets the shoulder up at 2. She's struggling to contain the offense of Julia here, who gets her with a scoop and a slam there. Dodges. Caught her there. Natural selection by Charlotte. Both women down. Flair now. Both women in a bad way. The hand over the chest. And Charlotte Flair able to steal the win over Julia.
Here is your winner, Charlotte Flair.
One natural selection was all it took to put away Julia for Charlotte Flair, as she qualifies for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. As now we see Ethan Page backstage as his match is up next versus Carmelo Hayes. It is all ego. Ethan Page versus him, Carmelo Hayes.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 225 pounds. All ego, Ethan.
You could say that this is really where Ethan Page's main roster career will begin, as prior to this he's only really ever had 2 losses to John Cena over on Monday Night Raw. He transitioned to SmackDown just a few weeks ago, and this is officially his first match here on the Blue Brand. Crowd not taking very well to Mr. All Ego. So now here comes his opponent.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes.
If there's one thing that's for sure about Carmelo Hayes, it is that he definitely has the look of him. Now, an interesting fact about him is when he started his wrestling career, he was actually a Michael Jackson impersonator. That was his first ever gimmick as a wrestler. As now he looks to try and beat Ethan Page here after the trouble over the last 2 weeks. Gonna lock up. Got the arm of Ethan Page. Gonna tighten that grip that he has. And now arm drag sends Ethan Page across the ring, and a big clothesline to the neck of Ethan Page, and now a springboard moonsault by Hayes. Gonna hook the leg off that moonsault. Count of 1. Way too early in the match to put away Ethan Page here tonight. And in the corner telling Page to get to his feet. What is on the mind of Carmelo Hayes? Nothing massive as he's forced against the ropes by Ethan. Referee forced to break them apart, and Ethan Page with a cheap shot, sending Carmelo Hayes immediately to his knees. Hayes going to fight back. These two locked up once again. Now it's Hayes going to force Ethan Page into the corner. Referee once again forced to break them apart, and again Ethan Page with a cheap shot. There's now a neck breaker by Ethan Page, and now he's going to go into an armbar. It's an immediate rope break there, and Carmelo Hayes catches him with a super kick. And tried to follow it up with a splash, but I think he calculated it wrong. But we can ignore that. There's I believe a Falcon Arrow there. Into the cover now goes Hayes on Ethan Page, still just the count of 1. It's called with a kick to the skull. And face first into the corner. Ethan Page lifting him up on the top rope now. Got the arms. Drags him into a front flip off the top onto the mat. Center of the ring. And now a code breaker by Ethan Page. As he heads to the top. In the drop zone is Carmelo Hayes. A splash by Page into the cover, count of 2. Carmelo back to his feet. I don't know what Ethan Page is fearing, but gets caught with a neck breaker now. Now Carmelo Hayes with a DDT. Followed by a springboard moonsault. Telling Ethan Page to get to his feet now. Trying to get a run up. Gets caught though. Stunning Carmelo Hayes momentarily. Turns that round. Page goes over the ropes. Carmelo Hayes going to follow it up. Drop kick sends him to the outside. I'd say so far all matches have been very good so far. The opening bout between Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix was a banger. Charlotte Flair and Julia was alright. This match is starting out nice. The referee's count begins. Ethan Page now going to get back in. Caught with a springboard clothesline by Carmelo. Now he's back to his feet. Sent face first into the corner himself now. Went for a scoop and a slam did Hayes, but Ethan Page got out, hits him with an inverted DDT now. Now got Hayes up into a swinging neck breaker from a standing vertical base. Gonna drag him into the center now, but back to his feet, catches him with a big kick. Similar to the kick that he dropped at Carmelo Hayes with out of nowhere 2 weeks ago backstage that caused this whole mess. And now these two men going to get into a fist trade-off. Hayes is going to get the advantage in. And a super kick lays out Ethan Page now. Carmelo's hyped up and drops him face first onto the canvas now. The speed of Hayes might just be a bit too much for Ethan Page. Off the ropes now, drop kick, weaved out the way with Ethan Page. Rolls out the way, but can't dodge the big boot by Ethan Page there. And now pulls him up into a power slam. Now what's Ethan Page thinking? Maybe a razor's edge. Oh! Into the cover now. And Carmelo Hayes powers out at 2. The frustration from Ethan Page there showing. And now he's just going to choke out Hayes in the corner. Oh my! Good grief. And now Carmelo Hayes with the codebreaker of his own, I believe it's called the first 48, into the cover now. And now Ethan Page with the kick out at 2. And now Hayes got in with another DDT there. Able to get him in the corner. Again tried for the scoop and slam. Failed. Inverted DDT. Double stomp to the face there. Ethan Page went for a ground and pound. Turned around by Carmelo Hayes. Delivered it himself. And now an Irish whip into the corner. What could be on the mind of Carmelo Hayes here? Got caught with an elbow. Ethan Page, abdominal stretch now to Carmelo Hayes. Gonna fight back though. Oh, takes him down with a head scissors. Still though, not able to put away Ethan Page. And now again, tossed by Page across the ring. He hooks the leg once more. And he puts away Carmelo Hayes for the win. Here in Scotland. As he puts away Carmelo Hayes, keeps torturing him over these few weeks. What's this? What? No! Come on! A steel chair attack post-match! To Carmelo Hayes, what's the need? There's no need for that at all. And what? What's going on? Ethan Page just attacked Carmelo Hayes and now Blake Monroe's attacking Becky Lynch. Gonna run away. Becky gonna give chase here. What on earth have I just seen in the last few seconds?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's United States Championship.
After a crazy sequence of events, we now have a United States Championship match between Kiana James, the challenger, and Jade Cargill, the champion. So a huge match here for Kiana James, as she could become a champion here in the WWE. She actually earned this opportunity by upsetting Jade Cargill in Victory last week, earning herself this opportunity tonight. And you can imagine she's telling herself she did it last week, so she can do it this week. Probably has all the confidence in the world that one would need in such a situation. As now making her entrance is the United States Champion, Jade Cargill. The Storm. Beat Chelsea Green for the title. Her first defence was a rematch against Chelsea Green again, in which she won. Let's say that she's probably been a fairly dominant champion so far throughout her reign as the United States Champion. As tonight's going to mean a lot to Jade. She's going to want revenge for last week. But she's also going to want to get Kiana James behind her, move on to the next opponent. I mean, Jade's probably already thinking about WrestleMania. That's currently about 10 weeks away, so just over 2 months. As there's the championship involved. Jade, Kiana James, as we'll take you to Mike Rome for the ring announcements.
Introducing the challenger from Sioux City, Iowa, Kiana James. And her opponent from Vero Beach, Florida, the WWE Women's United States Champion, Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill hands the title over to the referee. Kiana James getting one final look at it, held high in the sky. Big prize at grabs here as Jade looks to defend the championship. Forces Kiana into the corner now, does Jade. Strikes her with a right after the referee has to break things up. They stomp her out in the corner, but Kiana catches her with a foot, gonna fight back. Now kick to the midsection. But Jade managing to turn that around into a back body drop. Now with a kick to the spine. Jade springboard cross body. Not the type of move you'd expect from someone of the stature of Jade Cargill. Now going back into a lockup. Again Jade forces Kiana into the corner. Ref forced to break it up again, and Jade with another cheap shot. Oh, but Kiana managing to try and stun Jade momentarily. Kind of on the ropes now. Forces her down to the mat and stomps her down, using the ropes to get some height, and now gonna pound the back of her head into the mat. Kiana got Jade in the corner. Big right to the face. Jade drops to the floor. Catches Kiana with the kick though. And a spear by Cargill now out of nowhere. Double axe handle there. They turn her over, go into the cover. No count yet for Jade. And now the power The power lift here got her over her shoulders and drops her down onto the mat now. Jade from behind now, trying to make an attack, but Kiana manages to reverse, got Jade in a small package on the ground, counter one. Jade kicks, now an elbow drop to follow, to the spine of her own. Jade turns that around. And right there, Cargill got her on the shoulders. Oh! A great maneuver there by Cargill. Now into the cover. Counter 2 and Kiana survives. Kiana's going to survive to see another pinfall. And oh, a big right there to strike down Jade. This bout's going to be taken to the outside as Kiana drags Jade down by her hair onto the concrete floor. And to recap Raw so far, we opened the night with Cody Rhodes, and he was interrupted by Damian Priest, which they agreed to have a one-on-one match at the Elimination Chamber for the Undisputed Championship. And then after that, the match, we saw Solo Sikoa backstage with JC Mateo. He ordered him to attack Rey Fenix, who was having a match immediately after their segment. Mateo followed those orders, threw him into the steel steps back into the ring. And despite those circumstances, Rey Fenix managed to come out with the win, which you can imagine probably does not make Solo Sikoa much more happy than he already was. Then after that, we saw Tiffany Stratton and Piper Niven together. They agreed to have each other's back, similar to what Bayley and Alexa Bliss did on Raw just before the Rumble. And we had the second match of the night, where Julia took on Charlotte Flair in a chamber qualifying match, in which Flair took the win. And that's when you had Ethan Page backstage walking towards the entrance ramp. And Ethan Page took on Carmelo Hayes, took the win. Post-match, subjected him to a steel chair attack that we have an update on now has caused a minor injury to the abdomen of Carmelo Hayes, who's going to be out for a week or two now. And then just after that, backstage we saw Blake Monroe attack Becky Lynch, threw her into a car, ran away. Becky gave chase, and then that led to this match right here, this United States Championship match, and Jade there with a big boot to Kiana James. He's going to roll out the way and catches Jade with a clothesline. Now on the second rope. What could be on the mind of Kiana James here as Jade stands just feet away. Went for the cross body. Jade caught her. Scoop and a slam. Brilliant catch by Cargill. The strength showing. Maybe was going to go for a Jaded, but it was reversed by Kiana. Jade now, choke slam there, as she caught Kiana mid-maneuver attempt. Now just going to stalk her here. What's on the mind of Cargill? Hooks the arms. Jaded maybe. Cargill, Jaded. Turns her over, hook of the leg. Jaded to Kiana James, but no, James kicks it too. Jade gonna be mildly disappointed there, but with a powerbomb now. Argument with the referee. And what's this now? What? Lash Legends music? As Jade looks on. I mean, what could that be? Oh no, Jade, behind you! Lash Legends steel chair! To the skull of Cargill, gonna run away from the crime scene. Crawling over is Kiana James to take advantage. Throws the arm over into the cover now on Cargill. Referee down to make the count and Jade kicks out at 2. Attacked by Lash. Managed to kick it to... Oh, Lash is still at ringside. Lash is still at ringside. Cheering on Kiana James now. As again Jade manages to kick out at 2. See, Lash is a little bit annoyed there. As Cargill gets caught with the elbow by Kiana James. But still too fast now. Jade with the overhead there. Into a kip up. A fall away slam by Jade into the kip up. Off the ropes. Went for the back elbow. Jade managed to dodge. She sent over the rope there. Kiana now, what's she thinking? And drops Jade Cargill neck first onto the second rope. To the outside now. Oh! Gonna try and render the leg useless. Ooh. Good grief. Pounding the back of the skull on the concrete. Now these two take it back to the ring. Jade, springboard cross body. Took the opportunity. Did it well. And Jade comes out with the win. What a smart maneuver by Cargill.
Here is your winner, and still the WWE Women's United States
Jade Cargill catching Kiana James off guard with that springboard cross body to retain the United States Championship and reign on as your champion for longer, and we'll see one more title defense at the very least. What a match. Congratulations to Jade Cargill, the Storm. Please subscribe to Tackman12 as we're on the road to 1.5 thousand subscribers. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss an upload from this channel. And let's get back to Friday Night SmackDown. As we are back from the break, everybody, it is main event time here on Friday Night SmackDown. As we see Solo Sikoa, who we saw earlier in the night with JC Mateo, in one-on-one action here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 250 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Solo Sikoa.
As Solo Sikoa will be taking on the newly turned heel LA Knight, who last week on SmackDown beat Damian Priest. Well, obviously we saw Priest earlier tonight. He now has a match with Cody at the Chamber. So it's a match I've got to wonder if Solo can win. Now to address the elephant in the room, last week on SmackDown, Solo Sikoa was talking to Tama Tonga and ordered Tama to team up with JC Mateo against Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee, and told him to go and find Tonga Loa to accompany them ringside. As Tama left, The camera stayed panned on Solo as he was attacked from behind by Dexter Lumis. And we don't know the motive behind that. So you kind of have to wonder, is Dexter Lumis going to have a part to play in this match between Solo and LA Knight here tonight?
From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 240 pounds,
LA Knight makes his way towards the ring. He's off the back of a win last week. I can't exactly remember if he was in the men's rumble match, but I would believe he would have been. Didn't win, as that was Gunther's honour. In fact, we talked so much about winning the rumble, as on the women's side, Bianca Belair actually took the women's Royal Rumble match. So she respectfully won that one on her return to the company after many months without seeing her face around. As LA Knight got a headlock locked in on Solo Sikoa, as now transitions to the left arm. Solo fighting back with the punches to the gut there, and Solo just laying it into LA Knight here. Went for the chop, Knight reverse, kick to the gut, and forced Solo into the corner. LA Knight just seems more like cocky, really. That's the least you can say. Throws Solo to the outside. What's he thinking? Off the ropes, goes through with the dive, but just crashes to the floor as Solo moved. And now Solo going to drop the head into the lower abdomen of LA Knight there. I'm going to toss him back into the ring. I think he lost his balance a little bit there. Bit of a funny blooper for Solo. Now he goes into the cover on Knight. And a 2, shockingly. But Knight does kick out. Solo went for the headbutt there, but Knight moved. Went for the boot, Solo moved. Knight moved. Both men just countering there. But now LA Knight going to stomp him out in the corner there. Solo brings himself down in the corner, and Knight with a running knee to Solo there. Turning Solo around, but Solo again with the reversal himself. Got Knight on the shoulders, drops him face first onto the top turnbuckle. Now Solo, second attempt at the headbutt, this time able to connect. But Knight able to dodge that attack. And now laying in his own offense onto Solo. Knight tosses Solo out of the ring, maybe going to try and go for that attack again. Will he be successful this time? Through the ropes, yes he will. The double foot drop kick to Solo Sikoa through the ropes, drops him on the floor. He followed it up with that elbow drop there. Now Solo turns it around, tosses Knight back into the ring. And a big boot now by Solo. And now a leg drop. Just mocking LA Knight, and what's this? Dexter Lumis taking the US title off Solo Sikoa's, but Solo not going to have that. I'm going to give chase. Take it back. Oh, and LA Knight not going to have any problems taking advantage of a distracted Solo Sikoa. Dexter Lumis distracting Solo. Knight takes advantage. Obviously this new version of Knight is not going to give two fucks about a distracted Solo. Oh, but Knight there, it kind of looked like he dropped the knee onto the championship there. And now Solo with a belly to back there. Nearly landed on the title again. Knight with a right. Solo turns it around. DDT. Again, nearly on the title. That's not really relevant though, as Solo now sent back into the ring by Knight. Now forces Solo onto the ropes. Trips him up. Got him. Oh! Into the cover now. Knight, count at 2, Solo able to kick out. The lights go out. What is this? Tama Tonga? The music of Tama Tonga's playing. LA Knight's distracted. And from behind, Solo Sikoa. Now he's going to take advantage of a distracted LA Knight. Off the ropes. Ducks under does Solo. Ducks under again. Pop-up Samoan drop. And now going to use that pop-up Samoan drop to set up his finisher, but Knight turns it around. Goes for the BFT. Solo reverses. Belly to back suplex. Knight going to bring himself to his feet in the corner now, as you just feel this match is approaching its end. Knight got Solo on the shoulders now, but Solo going to rake at the eyes. And now up and down. Sikoa, tired, throws the arm over LA Knight, but he gets the shoulder up. A devastated Solo has no choice now but to try and set up the Samoan spike again. And Solo connects with the Samoan spike, hooking the leg of LA Knight. Is that it? And yes, it is. Solo Sikoa puts away LA Knight.
Here is your winner, Solo Sikoa.
A big, validating win for Solo Sikoa. I thank you all for watching Friday Night SmackDown here in Scotland, and I will see you all over on Monday Night Raw.